In 1964, Mary Poppins flew into movie history with magic, music, and a story that still feels timeless after 62 years. But behind the songs, smiles, and unforgettable characters, time has changed the lives of the cast in powerful ways. Some stars remain beloved icons, while others have sadly taken their final bow. Let's look back at the Mary Poppins cast, then and now. Dick Van Dyke was born in 1925 in West Plains, Missouri. He was 38 when he played Bert. Playful, loose-limbed, and bursting with chimney-sweep charm, Van Dyke made Bert feel like the happiest man in London, dancing through rooftops like gravity was only a suggestion. Van Dyke built one of television and film's most joyful careers, with classics like The Dick Van Dyke Show, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and Diagnosis, Murder. As of 2026, he is 101 years old and still loved as one of entertainment's great old-school showmen. Bert is remembered because Van Dyke made every moment feel like a wink to the audience. The accent may be legendary for the wrong reasons, but the smile, the dancing, and the pure joy are exactly why fans still adore him. David Tomlinson was born in 1917 in Henley-on-Thames, Oxfordshire, England. He was 47 when he played Mr. Banks. Proper, stiff, and wonderfully trapped inside his own rules, Tomlinson made the banker father funny before he ever learned how to loosen up. Tomlinson became a familiar Disney face with roles in The Love Bug and Bedknobs and Broomsticks, often playing polished British gentlemen with comic pride and a soft center. He died in 2000 at age 83 after suffering a stroke. Mr. Banks gives the story its emotional change. Tomlinson starts him like a man married to schedules, status, and the bank, then slowly lets the warmth break through until "Let's Go Fly a Kite" feels like a whole family breathing again. Glynis Johns was born in 1923 in Pretoria, South Africa. She was 40 when she played Mrs. Banks. Bright, fluttery, and proudly swept up in the suffragette spirit, Johns gave Winifred Banks a funny mix of privilege, passion, and lovable distraction. Johns had a remarkable stage and screen career, earning an Academy Award nomination for The Sundowners, and later winning a Tony Award for A Little Night Music. She died in 2024 at age 100 from natural causes. Mrs. Banks brought a burst of Edwardian energy into the Banks household. Johns made her charmingly scattered but full of heart, like a woman chasing a bigger cause while slowly realizing her own family needed her too. Retta Shaw was born in 1912 in South Paris, Maine. She was 51 when she played Mrs. Brill. Blunt, fussy, and wonderfully allergic to nonsense, Shaw made the Banks family cook feel like the one person in the house who had already had enough before breakfast. Shaw became a familiar face in American film and television, with memorable work in The Ghost and Mrs. Muir, Pollyanna, and The Pajama Game. She died in 1982 at age 69 from natural causes. Mrs. Brill added kitchen door comedy to the story. Shaw gave her a perfect mix of irritation, loyalty, and working-class bite, making every household disaster feel funnier the moment she walked into it. Hermione Baddeley was born in 1906 in Broseley, Shropshire, England. She was 57 when she played Ellen the Maid. Quick, flustered, and full of sharp little reactions, Baddeley made the upstairs-downstairs chaos of the Banks home feel even livelier. Baddeley earned an Academy Award nomination for Room at the Top, and later became familiar to TV audiences through Maude and Little House on the Prairie. She died in 1986 at age 79, with the cause not widely reported. Ellen was funny because she always seemed one step away from losing control of the day. Baddeley gave her panic, timing, and a very British kind of comic fuss, adding warmth to the household madness. Matthew Garber was born in 1956 in Stepney, London, England. He was 8 when he played Michael Banks. Cheeky, curious, and full of bright little boy energy, Garber made Michael feel like the kind of child who could turn a nursery problem into a grand adventure. Garber appeared in a few Disney films as a child, including The 3 Lives of Thomasina and The Gnome Mobile. But his life ended heartbreakingly young. He died in 1977 at age 21 from hemorrhagic necrotizing pancreatitis, linked to hepatitis he contracted while traveling. Michael brought mischief and innocence into the Banks family story. Garber made him funny, stubborn, and completely believable, especially when the magic of Mary Poppins began pulling the children into a world bigger than their parents could imagine. Arthur Treacher was born in 1894 in Brighton, Sussex, England. He was 70 when he played the constable. Proper, polished, and delightfully British, Treacher gave the London street scenes a tidy little touch of old-fashioned authority. Treacher built a long career playing butlers, gentlemen, and refined comic figures, and his name later became famous in America through the Arthur Treacher's Fish and Chips restaurant chain. He died in 1975 at age 81 after heart failure. The constable is a small role, but Treacher made him feel like part of the storybook London around the Banks family. His calm, official manner added one more charming face to a world where even the streets seemed ready for music. Ed Wynn was born in 1886 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He was 77 when he played Uncle Albert. Silly, weightless, and bubbling over with laughter, Wynn made the floating tea party feel like a dream that had completely forgotten the rules of gravity. Wynn was a major comedy star from vaudeville, radio, television, and Disney voice work, including the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland. He died in 1966 at age 79 after a battle with esophageal cancer. Uncle Albert gave the movie one of its strangest and happiest little detours. Wynn's laugh felt so real that the whole room seemed to float with him, turning pure nonsense into one of the film's most joyful memories. Julie Andrews was born in 1935 in Walton-on-Thames, Surrey, England. She was 28 when she played Mary Poppins. Crisp, magical, and practically perfect without ever feeling cold, Andrews made the nanny feel like she had floated in from a storybook, but somehow understood every lonely child in the room. Her very first screen role won her the Academy Award for Best Actress, and she later became a global musical icon through The Sound of Music, Victor Victoria, The Princess Diaries, voice work, books, and stage honors. As of 2026, she is 91 years old and mostly lives away from regular on-screen acting. Mary Poppins became unforgettable because Andrews balanced discipline with wonder. One moment she was correcting manners with a sharp little smile. The next she was opening a door into pure imagination, making childhood feel brighter, stranger, and beautifully possible. Elsa Lanchester was born in 1902 in Lewisham, London, England. She was 61 when she played Katie Nana, flustered, offended, and ready to quit before another impossible thing happened. Lanchester made the runaway nanny problem feel funny from the very first household crisis. Lanchester was already a classic screen original, famous for Bride of Frankenstein, and later nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for Witness for the Prosecution. She died in 1986 at age 84 after suffering from bronchial pneumonia. Katie Nana does not stay long, but Lanchester knew how to make an exit count. Her panic, clipped voice, and offended dignity set the stage perfectly, showing just how badly the Banks home needed someone extraordinary to blow in with the wind. Reginald Owen was born in 1887 in Wheathampstead, Hertfordshire, England. He was 77 when he played Admiral Boom. Loud, naval, and wonderfully convinced his house was still a battleship, Owen gave Cherry Tree Lane one of its funniest bits of neighborhood madness. Owen had a long career in British and American films, with memorable roles in A Christmas Carol, Mrs. Miniver, and many polished old Hollywood character parts. He died in 1972 at age 85 after suffering a heart attack. Admiral Boom made the street feel like its own little clockwork world. Owen played him with booming certainty and comic military pride, turning every cannon blast and shouted order into another charming piece of London storybook chaos. James Logan was born in 1913 in New York City. He was 51 when he played the bank doorman. Proper, stiff-backed, and quietly watchful, Logan gave the bank entrance a small but useful touch of old London formality. Like even the doorway had rules to follow before anyone could step inside. Logan worked mostly in smaller film and television roles, with credits including You Are There, Loose in London, and other mid-century screen appearances. He died in 1989 at age 76, with the cause not widely reported in public sources. The bank doorman is a brief role, but it helps build the world around Mr. Banks and his serious little universe of money, manners, and order. Logan made the moment feel neat, polished, and slightly intimidating, which is exactly the kind of atmosphere the story later learns to loosen. Jane Darwell was born in 1879 in Palmyra, Missouri. She was 84 when she played the Bird Woman. Gentle, fragile, and almost like a memory in human form, Darwell brought a quiet ache to the steps of St. Paul's with only a few simple gestures. Darwell had already won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for playing Ma Joad in The Grapes of Wrath, one of classic Hollywood's great mother roles. She died in 1967 at age 87 after suffering a heart attack. The Bird Woman appears softly, but her scene leaves a deep mark. Darwell made Feed the Birds feel less like a song break and more like a lesson in kindness, turning a small old woman with crumbs in her hand into one of the film's most tender images. Arthur Millett was born in 1927 in Lee-on-Solent, England. He was 36 when he played Mr. Dawes Jr., thin, nervous, and perfectly suited to the bank's stuffy little world. Millett gave the younger Dawes a fussy energy that made the family business feel even more tightly wound. Millett built a long career as a supporting actor on stage, film, and television, later appearing in Halloween, The Secret of Nim, The Black Cauldron, and Hook. He died in 2013 at age 85, with the cause not widely reported. Mr. Dawes Jr. added another layer of comic stiffness to the bank scenes. Millett made him anxious, formal, and slightly ridiculous, helping the world of finance feel small and airless compared with the color and freedom Mary brings into the children's lives. Don Barclay was born in 1892 in Ashland, Oregon. He was 71 when he played Mr. Binnacle. Fussy, nautical, and wonderfully loyal to Admiral Boom's make-believe command, Barclay gave the rooftop crew another funny little piece of Cherry Tree Lane's oddball rhythm. Barclay had a long career as an actor, comedian, and artist, working through vaudeville, radio, film, and animation voice roles, including Disney projects like Bambi and Alice in Wonderland. He died in 1975 at age 82, with the cause not widely reported. Mr. Binnacle helps make Admiral Boom's house feel like its own tiny ship sailing through London. Barclay played him with crisp reactions and comic discipline, like firing the cannon on schedule was the most normal thing in the world. Marjorie Eaton was born in 1901 in Oakland, California. She was 63 when she played Miss Persimmon. Proper, watchful, and lightly comic, Eaton brought a polished little presence to the grown-up world around the Banks family. Eaton lived a wide, creative life as an actress and painter, later becoming recognizable to genre fans for playing Emperor Palpatine in the original version of The Empire Strikes Back. She died in 1986 at age 85, with the cause not widely reported. Miss Persimmon is a small role, but Eaton gave it that tidy old Hollywood texture. In a film full of magic, songs, and flying umbrellas, faces like hers help the everyday world feel formal enough for Mary Poppins to shake it up. Alma Lawton was born in 1919 in London, England. She was 43 when she played Mrs. Corey. Strange, tiny, and full of storybook mystery, Lawton made the gingerbread shop lady feel like someone who belonged more to magic than ordinary London. Lawton had a shorter screen career than many of the cast, with only a handful of film and television appearances, which makes her role here feel even more like a curious little gem. She died in 1982 at age 60, with the cause not widely reported. Mrs. Corey adds one of those odd, delightful touches that makes the film feel bigger than reality. Lawton gave her a secretive sparkle, like she knew the rules of Mary's world and was not about to explain them to anyone. Marjorie Bennett was born in 1896 in York, Western Australia. She was 68 when she played Miss Lark. Proper, fluttery, and wonderfully attached to her pampered little dog, Bennett gave Cherry Tree Lane one of those comic neighbor faces that made the street feel busy, posh, and slightly ridiculous. Bennett built a long career in British and American films, often playing maids, landladies, neighbors, and sharp little society women, with appearances in Sabrina, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, and 101 Dalmatians. She died in 1982 at age 86, with the cause not widely reported. Miss Lark may only be a small part of the story, but Bennett made her feel like she truly belonged on that magical London street. Her fussy manners, worried looks, and devotion to her dog added another charming layer to a world where even ordinary neighbors felt touched by fantasy. Cyril Delavanti was born in 1889 in London, England. He was 75 when he played Mr. Grubbs. Thin, elderly, and carrying that fragile old London dignity, Delavanti gave the bank scene a quiet human texture, like one more small face caught inside the grown-up world of coins, savings, and rules. Delavanti worked for decades in film and television, often playing old gentlemen, clerks, dreamers, and lonely figures, and he earned a Golden Globe nomination for The Night of the Iguana. He died in 1975 at age 86 after a battle with lung cancer. Mr. Grubbs is not a loud character, but Delavanti made him part of the film's emotional background. His presence helped the bank feel crowded with ordinary hopes and worries, which made the children's small tuppence suddenly feel much bigger than money. Lester Matthews was born in 1900 in Nottingham, England. He was 64 when he played Mr. Tomes. Polished, formal, and perfectly suited to the bank's stiff atmosphere, Matthews added another layer of British seriousness to the adult world surrounding Jane and Michael. Matthews had a long screen career in Hollywood and Britain, appearing in adventure films, dramas, and mystery stories, with credits including Werewolf of London, The Raven, and The Adventures of Robin Hood. He died in 1975 at age 74, with the cause not widely reported. Mr. Toms helps make the bank feel like a place where imagination has been locked away behind desks, ledgers, and serious faces. Matthews brought just enough authority and old-fashioned restraint to make Mary Poppins' world feel even brighter by contrast. Doris Lloyd was born in 1891 in Liverpool, England. She was 68 when she appeared as the depositor. Proper, nervous, and wrapped in that old British bank world formality, Lloyd helped make the financial panic feel like a crowd of serious adults suddenly losing control. Lloyd had a long career in Hollywood as a dependable British character actress, appearing in films like The Time Machine, The Sound of Music, and many dramas where her refined presence fit perfectly. She died in 1968 at age 71, with the cause not widely reported. The depositor is a small part, but Lloyd's face adds to the pressure of the bank scene. She helps show how quickly order could turn into confusion, making Jane and Michael's little moment with the tuppence feel much bigger than anyone expected. Queenie Leonard was born in 1905 in London, England. She was 59 when she played the Lady in the Bank. Sharp, proper, and touched with that classic British comic stiffness, Leonard gave the bank scene another face of adult worry and social order. Leonard worked for decades in film, radio, and television, often bringing wit and polish to supporting roles, and she also lent her voice to Disney projects like Alice in Wonderland and 101 Dalmatians. She died in 2002 at age 96, with the cause not widely reported. The Lady in the Bank may be brief, but Leonard helped build the grown-up world Mary Poppins was quietly challenging. Her presence made the bank feel crowded with rules, manners, and panic, hiding just under the surface. J. Pat O'Malley was born in 1904 in Burnley, Lancashire, England. He was 60 when he played the Pearly Drummer. Cheerful, musical, and full of old London street color, O'Malley helped give the dancing crowd that bright, working-class carnival feeling. O'Malley had a rich career as a singer, actor, and voice performer, with memorable Disney voice work in Alice in Wonderland, The Jungle Book, and 101 Dalmatians. He died in 1985 at age 80 from cardiovascular disease. The Pearly Drummer is part of the film's joyful street music magic. O'Malley brought rhythm, warmth, and a lived-in performer's charm, helping turn the London crowd into something that felt festive, friendly, and straight out of a storybook. Karen Dotrice was born in 1955 in Guernsey, Channel Islands. She was 8 when she played Jane Banks. Sweet, curious, and quietly longing for attention, Dotrice made Jane feel like a real child, caught between strict adults and a world of impossible wonder. Dotrice appeared in a few Disney projects as a child, including The 3 Lives of Thomasina and The Gnome Mobile, before later stepping away from regular acting. As of 2026, she is 71 years old and has lived a much quieter life outside the spotlight. Jane Banks gave the story its tender child's eye view. Dotrice made her polite but emotional, proper but still hungry for magic, and her bond with Michael helped make the adventure feel less like a fantasy trick and more like a family finally waking up. Thanks for watching. Which Mary Poppins character brings back the most memories for you? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more classic then and now stories.